What's up everybody, my name's Kamahl, welcome to another video. So this is going to be the first video like this I've done, however, hopefully it's going to be a good one. So, it's going to be the 5 methods I use to acquire my mount at level 40 without ever considering gold farming until level 38. Now, to preface this video, I want to say the first thing: skinning, leatherworking, cooking, all of these are going to be very, very impactful in the amount of gold that you're able to make from this farm. So without further ado, I want to take you into Feralas, where I farm from level 38 to 40 and acquire enough raw gold to obtain my mount as soon as I ding level 40 every single time. So you hit level 38, you walk your happy ass out to Feralas to start gold farming. What's the first thing you do? Well, obviously, you go to Camp Majashe and you get the flight path. Set your hearthstone, all that good shit. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to think about how you want to attack this. Now, there's a multitude of different ways you can acquire the gold that you need for your mount out here, but there's a couple that are going to be more impactful and a lot better than others. So we'll start with probably the weakest one in my opinion. Now, take in mind, or take into account rather, keep in mind, there you go, that when I say the worst, I mean dependent on the class. Now, if you're a rogue, this can potentially be a lot better for you. I'm not a rogue, I'm a hunter, so this one isn't going to be as great for me, but it is what it is. And it's going to be right out here, just north of Camp Majashe, and it's the Paw Mongrels. Now, these mongrels, they don't do too much damage, they don't have too much life. They do have that really, really annoying humanoid thing though, where they run away. So when you're farming these things, make sure you hold a CC for the end, like you saw right there. As soon as they get down to about 15-20% life, I send out a concussive shot to make sure that they don't run away and pull other mobs, because that shit's annoying as hell, and I don't like it. So keep that in mind, keep a CC open for the end. But the reason that you're going to farm these guys is going to be for the raw gold potential. They do drop, you know, silver and copper and that, so there is that. Now, the reason that I suggested a rogue for this is because you can actually pickpocket them and acquire a bit more from them than any other class could. So really with those, all you're able to get is, I mean, like I said, if you're a rogue, a lot more, but if you're not a rogue, which most of you probably aren't, you're just going to get raw gold. So it's okay, but it's not great. I wouldn't even say it's good, but it's just an option. And the second thing that we're going to be looking at is going to be killing these mobs. Now, we're going to look at 2 different aspects of killing these mobs. The first one is going to be just raw materials to sell to a vendor that sell for high dollar amounts. And for those, we're going to focus on these bears. I legit just walked like that. That's where we were killing the mongrels. I'm right here. We got some bears. Now, keep in mind that when you're killing the bears, it might be better to wait till level 39, because they are going to have higher amounts of armor and higher amounts of life than the other mobs out here because, well, they're bears. So just keep that in mind. The bears do take a bit more to kill, but as with most things, even though they take more to kill, there's a benefit to them taking more to kill. And that's that, well, they drop a lot better gray items. From the bears, you're going to be able to obtain these large bear bones, which you see I have a couple of them. Now these, they sell for okay, but currency versus space, it's kind of shit. You're getting 14 silver, almost 15 silver, we'll just round up to 15. 15 silver per bone, but you can only have one bone per slot, so it doesn't stack. Not good. Very, very shitty return on these, but it is something, you know. It's 15 silver each one. That's I mean, it is what it is. Now, another thing that they drop that is also fairly decent is going to be the bear flanks. Now, the bear flanks, once again, we're going to round up, and we're going to say they sell for about 5 copper, or 5 copper, that'd be a really shitty one, 5 silver apiece. So that's really not too terrible, especially when you consider that they can stack up to 10 in one bag space. So that's giving you 50 silver, roughly, in a one bag space slot. That's pretty good. I mean, that's better than getting, you know, greens out here. So that's really good. The other item that they can drop that, well, we'll go over the 2 other that they can drop. Now, these 2 others that they can drop are, they're the fucking tits. So these sell for almost 10 silver a fucking item. So it's going to be the bear jaws. You see right here a stack of 7 for 62 silver. That's around 9 silver a piece. And then also you have the large trophy paws. These are a lot less common to drop off of them, but once again, it's almost 10 silver per. So the bears are a really good farm for just straight up gray items. So yeah, that's going to be the number 2 one on the list. The number 2 farm reason or farm method out here is going to be killing the bears and selling all of the gray items that they drop. Alright, number 3. So for number 3, we're going to be looking at the wolves out here in the same exact location. You saw me killing the bears out here. Now we're going to kill the wolves. I made this number 3 instead of number 2 because this one involves a little bit of extra work. The extra work is going to be cooking. Now, a lot of people, they don't worry about leveling up their cooking because they can just buy food off the auction house, which is fine, but I prefer to cook the food myself because that way I don't have to buy it off the auction house, and I can still acquire a very nice, hefty food buff. Now, the reason that you're going to want to farm the wolves out here for this is because they drop 2 separate food items. One of them is extremely good for selling, and one of them is extremely good for eating. Now, the 2 items that they're going to drop is they're going to drop the red wolf meat, and they're going to drop the tender wolf meat. Now, we're going to go ahead and break this stack up, that way we can really look at it. I think I have more down here somewhere, maybe not. Either way, so, tender wolf meat sells pretty good. 1 silver, 50 copper per item. Stacks up to 10. That's pretty good. You know, it's not bad. This one, though, 87 copper for 1 red wolf meat. That's terrible. It's you know, it's almost half the price. Now, you may look at these and you may immediately think to yourself, okay, well, I want to sell those. And yeah, I don't blame you. But if you have a chef, if you have a cook, if you have a toon that you have your cooking leveled up, you can actually use these up until level 60. The food that this cooks into is extremely good. I'll show you right here. It gives you 12 additional stamina and spirit for 15 minutes. But it only sells for 3 silver after you've cooked it. Now, the investment, we're going to do some maths real quick, okay? With the tender wolf meat, you have the tender wolf meat itself, that you could sell it for 1.5 silver. If you cook it, you have to pick up a soothing spice, which costs 1.6 silver. So your total investment for the tender wolf meat, this right here, the tender wolf steak rather, is 3.1 silver. So you have a 3.1 silver investment into this item, but when you sell it, you're only getting 3 silver back. So it's a negative investment if you end up cooking and selling this tender wolf steak because you're a mage and you don't care about the food buff. So you can just sell that straight up. However, when we look at the other meat, when we look at this one right here, so this red wolf meat, it gets cooked with a hot spice. You cook this with the hot spice only costs 40 silver. So the total investment into this one is only 1.27, or not 40 silver, 40 copper. So it's 1.27 total investment, 1.27 silver total investment to make this sausage. The sausage sells for 3 silver, 12 copper. You're almost doubling your investment when you cook and sell this meat. So this is a very, very good farm out here. Very, very impactful if you do have cooking. Alright, so number 4. Number 4 is going to involve either skinning or skinning and leatherworking, depending on how you want to acquire your gold and everything like that. So when I go through here, I don't really like to auction house things, but I want to make sure that you're fully aware that if you do choose to auction house this, if you do choose the auction house route with this, you can acquire a bit more gold. Now, with that being said, I guess before that, we'll explain why. So this thick leather right here, you can see it sells for a vendor 60 silver for a stack of 20. You put it in the auction house, you can sell it on the auction house for typically 1.3 gold per stack, so you can get over double its worth if you sell it on the auction house, which is great if that's the route that you want to follow. Me personally, I prefer to find ways to introduce more gold into the economy rather than necessarily like flipping, if that makes sense. So I prefer to vendor things. And with that being said, let's get into how I skin and leatherwork to make gold out here with thick leather. So you've got a stack of 20 thick leather, right? 60 silver. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget it, because my brain does that sometimes. With the Nightscape headbands, it takes 5 of these thick leather to make 1. So that means that you can make 4 per stack, right? So let's keep that in mind. 4 of them per stack. Now it takes 2 silken thread, or no, is it heavy silken thread or silken thread? Let's pull it up. Silken thread. So it costs another 10 silver per one, or you can look at it as 40 silver per stack. So per stack, we're looking at a 1 gold investment. Just like we did the last one, it's 60 silver that you could vendor it for, plus the 40 silver that you have to invest in the silken thread to make the 4 Nightscape headbands. Now you take these 4 Nightscape headbands, you sell them back to a vendor at 45 silver apiece. So that's giving you 1.8 gold back for a 1 gold investment. This is one of the best ways that I've found to make gold out here. It's just, I mean, and you've got to think, you know, I'm only saying a few gold here, a few gold there per investment, but when you're out here continually farming these things and stacking it all together, I mean, because when I come out here, as you see on this character, I have the cooking, right? I have the leatherworking, I have the skinning. So I'm incorporating all these things together. I'm vendoring all the silver items. I'm cooking this into the sausages to sell. I'm cooking the tender wolf meat into the wolf steaks to eat, you know, or even just save for later. And it stacks up. You know, you're out here for 10, 12 hours just doing this, and then you realize, oh shit, I'm almost level 40 and I have 130 gold. What the fuck? How the hell did that happen? And it's amazing. It's an amazing thing, and it's super cool. So yeah, let's look at number 5, and then we'll head out. Alright, so the last one, number 5, is going to be essentially like a bonus one. This is one that I use usually after I've hit 40, because most of these mobs are higher level, they're more frustrating to deal with, and it's these darters. Now, they are more frustrating to deal with, they are a bit more annoying, but they have a lot of investment value, potentially. So, the reason that you're going to farm these things is for mainly the small flame sack. Now, the small flame sack is a reagent item that can drop off of any Fey Dragon or Whelpling mob after, I think, like level 20 or so. And then, obviously, each one has a different percentage chance of dropping it. But the reason that you want this is because, well, A, it sells very nicely on the auction house. And B, because if you have a level 39 twink PvPer, you can make some of the best food, arguably, if it's a melee class such as a warrior or an enhancement shaman or a, what's the other one, like a rogue. This food is absolutely insane, and it's the Dragon Breath Chili. Now, the Dragon Breath Chili, it does require both a mystery meat and a small flame sack, and it requires your cooking to be not too high, but I mean high enough. I think it's like 275, maybe 250, and it's not the easiest to farm these up. You know, they take a while to farm up. You're not going to acquire them very quickly or easily. It takes a while, and there's almost always people out here farming them. But when you make this food, you can sell this food for almost 1 gold per. Especially with PvP coming out shortly, it's going to do nothing but increase the price higher and higher. So it's going to be very beneficial for people to be farming up this one and hanging on to it. You know, if you can only get a little bit at a time and you're able to hang on to it for a while, then do so. You know, I think I have like 50 or 60 damn it, that's not what I wanted, mystery meat just in my bank, just waiting, because I'm going to be farming these. I'm going to be farming the other whelps, because I'm going to be running a level 39 twink, and I'm going to want my food, because, well, you know, fuck the Alliance, basically. I'm going to want as much food as I can to give me the edge. You know, and if I am able to eat this food and turn myself into a fire-breathing fucking monster, essentially, then that's pretty fucking cool to me. So yeah, I mean, the drop rate's super low, but I mean, it's okay. It's an okay farm. Like I said, you get the chance to get the flame sacks. I think you can get mystery meat from it. And then if you skin them as well, you can get worn dragon scales, which they don't sell for too much, but if you're like me and you're a dragon scale leather worker, then, I mean, that's resources that you don't have to go and buy. That's resources that you have that you don't have to go and spend your gold on. Why? Oh, I'm mounted, duh. I always do that. Always fucking do that shit. I'm usually, when I'm farming, I don't mount up. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys like this. If you do, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. If you want to show any type of monetary support, the links are down in the description below. Yeah, it is what it is. Get gold. I'm out.